have slammed the government over the continued use of force by police and arrests, now urging the international community to intervene on what they term as a country sliding into dictatorship. The leaders, who spoke in a function where Kalonzo Musyoka was celebrated in 40 years of diplomacy and politics, the leaders further urged President William to allow an environment where democracy will thrive as it is stipulated in the constituency, without intimidations to anyone who is opposed to the Kenya Kwanza government. Take a look.
In a meeting which brought together diplomatic leaders and political leaders to celebrate 40 years of Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka's diplomatic and political career, the opposition leaders, led by Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, now want the international community to intervene in what they term as great violation of human rights on abductions and enforced disappearances.
And disproportionate increment in the use of excessive force by Kenya's police service should be a concern to all of us. During the protests in 2023 and in 2024, over 125 young Kenyans lost their lives to police bullets. Up to date, no security officer has been charged and/or prosecuted. The victims' families are yet to receive any form of justice. There is also
further, the leaders urged President William Ruto to protect the Constitution of Kenya in his leadership, as well as respect other democracies such as Sudan, which in the recent past has decried of interference by Kenyan government.
Bigger in supply than brains in South Sudan, and you see how the promise of the youngest African country has turned into disaster. We host the richest thieves from South Sudan and the poorest victims of that thievery in our country. Similarly, as Sudan unravels, as Khartoum becomes a no-go area, it pains those of us who are associated with peace building to know that we have a president who, sheerly for personal interest in bloody gold, is dragging Kenya into a crisis that's not our own. And he brings people to this territory to try to form a so-called shadow government, when those people have gained their reputation for slaughtering black people in Darfur and Zagawa.
The opposition leaders as well told off the number one in command following his recent remarks against the movement, in what they say they are united to ensure that the country gets better leadership come 2027.
Presidential elections, we worked very closely. And after whatever transpired, we have continued to work together. And now we are together forming a broad coalition to transform the country. I would just want to conclude by saying that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is not just a diplomat because he has worked as one. He's a born diplomat, a great person to work with, and a person who is open.
Elizabeth Mutuko, TV 47 Nairobi.